Are you playing the Göring Gambit yet? If not, why not? And if you're saying, well, I don't have a good course that teaches me exactly what to do, well, you do. So there you go. And it's cheap. It's only $29. So if you want to support this channel, buy the course. Anyway, Miko bought the course. Miko's rated 1067 on this game in 5-minute blitz. And this is what he did. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, so we have e4, we have e5, and we get into the Scotch. Miko's playing into the Göring. Black accepts, and we play the Göring Gambit with c3. Accepts, out comes the bishop to c4. This is all very normal. Fully accepted Göring Gambit. Happy days. Now the engine says that black is a tiny bit better at this point, but ha ha ha. That's like 70% win rate for white from here. Okay, so opponent's rated 1051. He's 2 pawns up. He plays pawn to d6. One of the great things about this opening for any level is that there are rules. This stuff works over and over again. One of the rules is when they play d6, we look just to set up this barrage. Right, it's one of our main ideas. We're going to play queen to d3. Miko play queen to d3. Of course he does. The threat here is bishop takes f7 check, forcing the king out here. Okay, so knight to here is playable because that defends f7, but it's an ugly square for the knight to go to. And one of the most common things here is the queen goes to here or here. Okay, very often to e7. There's another rule in the thing. When the queen goes to e7, if your king's still there, you castle out of the way. All right? If the queen goes to here, we wouldn't do that. We would play knight c3 to d5 because that hits both of these squares. Okay, but Miko's going to castle, isn't he? Of course he is. Simple. Guy spent 18 seconds so far. It's less than 2 seconds to move. Bishop out here, and this is from 1.1 to 4.1. Okay? And we know what to do. It's just another rule. When they play the bishop to e6, we take, trade bishops, and then snatch the pawn on b7. You can just snatch the pawn straight away, but it's more than half a pawn better to take first. So Miko goes to take the knight, the bishop. Queen might take, pawn might take, doesn't really matter. And this is a honest to goodness fork. There's nothing that black can do to save both pieces. And so we see the rook come to here. Miko grabs the knight with check, obviously. He's now +4. And a piece up for a pawn. So black now tries to trade off queens. He's having none of it. Good move. Drops the queen back to c2. It's like black's got nothing. Nothing is developed. Why trade off queens and simplify the situation for black? No. Keep the queens on the board. Our king's nice and safe. This is only going to help us. Also notice this beautiful bishop now still eyeing down on there. So this pawn's pinned. It can't move. It is actually defended twice. It's defended by the queen and the bishop. What does black do? Obviously, he develops. Okay, we develop. We've now completed development. We've connected the rooks. We're going in for the kill. He brings the bishop out. So black really, really wants to castle. No, you're not going to have time to castle, bruv. Yeah, e5. This is a pawn fork. We're hitting the pawn. We're hitting the knight. What are you going to do? You're going to take. You're going to... Of course he's going to take. Okay. Now either rook could come to d1, I suppose, is possible. But hanging pawn with tempo. Beautiful. Why not? Queen comes to here. Now what would you play in this situation? Miko finds another lovely move. Knight b5. So this knight was hit, but now the bishop defends. So this is a discovered defense of the knight by our bishop, leaving the knight lurking in a very, very dangerous place and coming with the bonus of tempo on the queen. So poor black, he's not even going to get time to castle here. Okay, I tell you what, black says, let's just trade queens. Shall we just trade queens? And now pause again. Pause again and find the lovely, lovely next move. Our queen, by the way, hangs. Okay, So you'd think either we're going to trade or we're going to move the queen. Nah. No, my man Miko don't do none of that. Don't do none of it, mate. Knight takes c7, check. Bosh! Right? So you can't take the queen because he was in check in it. Right? We've just grabbed a pawn. If the queen takes the knight, queen takes queen. You lose. This is just devastating. In fact, the best move for black here is queen takes knight. But he doesn't do it. King moves out of the way. And now, the final move of the game. You should be able to find this one. Boom! Knight takes e6. King, queen, rook. I give you a family fork. And that, guys, that is why the Göring Gambit is just devastating. And a whole heap of fun, right? So I don't care what your rating is. You could be 1800, you could be 1000 to 1100, you could be 800, you could be 400. You are going to have a heap of fun with this opening. I'll put the link in the description again. Please support the channel. Buy the course, 2.5 hours of instruction, one of the simplest things that you can learn in chess. And in terms of bang for your buck, I quite, hand on heart, I don't think there is anything better out there. Yeah, I mean, certainly for Blitz and Bullet, but for, you know, it's not even really refutable. So you can play this in 10-minute, 30-minute games. It's that good. Okay, as you can tell, I'm a little bit in love with this opening, but you know, give it a spin, and you may be in love too. Thank you for watching. See you next time.